Let's talk about drama. Do you have drama at work? We kind of have a love-hate relationship with drama. We love it on Netflix. We hate it at work. Well, some of us hate it at work. Surprisingly few of us hate it at work, but a couple of us hate drama at work. There's good drama and there's destructive drama. Drama can be good when it gets us closer to reality, when it illustrates and clarifies and instructs and empowers and encourages, when it brings the truth to life. But drama can be destructive when it's a substitute for the truth, a substitute for reality, a substitute for significance. Most drama at work is destructive because it gives power to people who are more interested in the distracting quality of the story than they are in reality. Drama is a substitute for significance. When it's deliberately presented as reality, it's going to be destructive. If we choose to treat drama like it's reality, we're the ones who are going to be in big trouble. Destructive drama, as I like to call it, at work especially, is a huge problem, precisely because it's used as a substitute for the way things really are. When there's nothing significant going on in my life, or when reality is just too hard, drama is a nice substitute for me. I'll create it, I'll live in it, and eventually, if I do that long enough, I'm going to suffer for it. So we all know people who are into drama. They're so into drama that even when they're confronted with reality, they simply cannot or will not see it. They won't see it. They choose to look the other way. But that, of course, that's not you. Maybe you have a friend that this describes. Drama at work is a very expensive problem. It's a huge distraction. We waste time and money and energy, and we squander people's engagement and their passion when drama takes center stage. So our brain's kind of a funny thing. Good drama, well acted out drama, can trick our brain and trick our limbic system and our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems into acting like that drama is real. Have you ever felt sad or threatened or nervous or anxious or lonely or whatever while you're watching a really good drama on Netflix? You ever in the dark of the theater or in your own home watch a movie and you find yourself crying and you know it's fake, but it still gets you? Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's almost like the story is happening to you. Well, there's a reason for that. You and I are built as human beings to connect deeply with other people, to empathize, to sympathize, to bond, to be together. Our neurology and our biology, our personalities, our very soul all work better when we connect with other people. We're built to connect. And drama can play to that need. Drama always plays to that need. So here's my point. Drama, when used like a substitute for reality, is destructive at work. It arises from a need to avoid reality. It's based on a partial truth or a half-truth, what your grandmother used to call a filthy white lie. That's what my grandmother used to call it. When we're confronted with the truth, or when drama is confronted with the truth, it'll actually double down on the lie. It's not interested in reality. That kind of drama can kind of be hard to see, difficult to spot. So here's a few things we've learned about spotting it, especially at work. 1, the story changes depending upon who's in the room. If that's true, it's drama. 2, here's a good way to spot it. The main actor in that dramatic play unfolding in front of you is always right, even a little self-righteous. They come across like they feel like they're taking up the cause. Here's the 3rd way to spot it. Curiosity is non-existent. There are no questions. No one's open to new ideas. Here's the 4th way to spot drama of this destructive type. It doesn't look for solutions. It looks for applause. It looks for people to join them, not to solve the problem. You can test that by simply suggesting a solution. And the dramatic troupe will gather together to come up with another problem to keep the drama going. Here's a fifth way to spot it. It's almost never, this drama, about something, but it's almost always about someone or a group of someones. And we have titles we give them. It's the new people, or it's the old people ready to retire, or it's management, and it's them, right? Here's the sixth idea. The drama will disappear when there's really important and urgent work that needs to be done now. The drama evaporates. Oh, it'll come back, but it evaporates. So this kind of drama can be really hard to stop. And you, if you're here with me in this YouTube Hilt Academy channel, are a leader or a manager or a supervisor or an influencer. So it's imperative that you get really good at dealing with destructive drama. Here's how to stop it. Here's how to let the air out of the hot air balloon of drama. First, this is for you. Take stock. When are you the most vulnerable to drama? When you're probably hungry and angry and lonely and tired. In other words, when life is hard. These can all, by the way, hunger, anger, loneliness, weariness, or being tired, those can all come from a good underlying need. If you're hungry, it's probably because you need nutrition. If you're angry, careful here though, anger, if you're angry, most anger we have in the workplace is not good. Most anger we have in the rest of our life is not good. But it actually comes from disappointed expectations. And those expectations feel like a threat to what matters to us. Those are called values. As long as your anger is not about personal slights, but it's about an underlying injustice, it's probably coming from an okay place. A little bit of a sidebar here. It's usually not very productive for us to get angry. It usually comes out in ways that make things worse. You've probably also learned that if you put a lid on your anger instead of addressing it and dealing directly with it, and then you turn that anger inward, that you might end up getting depressed. We all know, a lot of research around this, that at the core of depression, not a bad hair day, but the kind that settles in on you for a while, is at its core, anger turned inward. We got more on that in an upcoming video about it, managing our own emotional pressure. And then, so hungry, angry. If you're lonely, it's either because you're thinking, I need people to like me all the time and I don't have enough people to like me. Maybe it comes out of that. That's not good. Maybe you think nobody understands me. That's not good. If you're lonely, then of course connect with people. That's good, all right? But if you're angry and depressed, that's hard to do, right? If you're tired, remember, hungry, angry, lonely, now we're at tired. If you're tired, we've been there, understand that. There's more responsibility that you've got now than you've ever had, perhaps. And as your responsibility increases and the greater the impact of your leadership that you're experiencing, the more you need to step off the treadmill. Take me seriously here. It's imperative that the more is expected of you, the more time you need to step off of the treadmill. We got more on that coming up and some fascinating research around what we call load management. Some things we've learned by studying professional athletes. So, there we go, take stock. We're more vulnerable to the manipulating force of destructive drama at work when we are hungry, angry, lonely, tired. We're also more vulnerable to that destructive drama when we're bored. We're more vulnerable when our focus is on feeling good rather than doing good and being good. We're easy prey to the traveling drama troupe that works its way through work. And we're also more vulnerable to drama when our habit is to triangulate. That is, if I've got a problem with person A, I don't talk to her about it, I talk to person B about it. If that's our habit, then we are setting ourselves up to fall prey to this destructive drama. Okay, so here's some thoughts for your team. Here's what you can do to let the air out of the balloon of drama. You can get clear about the results you're trying to achieve as a team. You can set specific, measurable, time-bound, memorable, specific goals. You can make those goals or those results you're trying to achieve so clear that people can carry them around their heads. You can also keep score of your progress toward achievement of those measurable results. You can also ask, is this drama, is this thing you're saying and doing helping us get those results? You can also go to the source. In fact, expect everyone goes to the source instead of going to people who are talking about the source. Get the facts. Destructive drama resists facts. So go to the source and bring those up. And break triangles, have zero tolerance for triangles. If somebody comes to you to talk about somebody else, interrupt them and say, wait, you need to go talk with him or her about that. So address openly in the group of people that you lead, as well as with individuals, some very common flawed mental models that folks have got that set us up to fall prey to this kind of destructive drama. These are also called flawed logic. These logical fallacies are often used in dramatic scenes to set us up. So here's a pro tip. Use these as much for dramatic actors, that's the people who are creating and performing in the drama, as for the audience, those who are standing around being swept up in this dramatic production. Think of these as sharp needles that let the air out of the balloon of drama. There's a few of them I want to share very quickly with you. The first one is called an ad hominem fallacy. This is one that attempts to invalidate the truth of someone's position based upon a personal trait of the other person, rather than through simple reasoning and facts and logic. That's like saying, Bill is wrong because he's never been a supervisor. Or, I can't trust your perspective because you don't like South Park. Or, the trait in some way or the characteristic has nothing to do with the point or the position or the argument or the debate that's set forth, but it actually sets up an emotional reaction. Here's another fallacy. We call this the red herring fallacy. It attempts to shift the focus at hand by introducing an irrelevant but emotionally charged point. An example is, yeah, but you wear Crocs out in public. Or yeah, you voted for Trump or for Hillary or for Biden. Something that just sets it on fire and distracts. The equivocation fallacy is really common in professional environments. And this fallacy, this mental model, attempts to blur the debate, to blur the problem solving by introducing statements that are deliberately crafted to confuse people with multiple interpretations of the words that you use. Here's an example. Someone says, well, management doesn't truly and deeply understand what they're doing, and they don't see the unintended consequences of their lack of decisiveness on this and similar issues. What? What is that? That's equivocation. And when people use words like always, that's equivocation. You'll know this fallacy is being used when you ask for clarity and you simply can't get it. The next fallacy is what we like to call the slippery slope fallacy. With a slippery slope fallacy, the arguer claims a specific series of events will follow one starting point, typically with no supporting evidence for this chain of events. Here's an example. If we allow Biff to bring his dog to work, then everybody is going to bring their dog to work. And those dogs are going to make a lot of noise, and they'll shed all over the place, and they'll leave messes all over the carpet, and nobody will ever get any work done, and we'll all get written up for poor performance, and we're going to get fired, and we'll all end up living in a van down by the river on a diet of government cheese. Drama. Got it? The next one is called the false dichotomy fallacy, or a false dilemma fallacy. It's also called that. This claims that there are ways, only two ways actually, of solving a problem. My way and your way. And if you disagree with me, you're obviously wrong. I don't even need to give you any examples here. Another one is called the sunk cost fallacy. This creates an incredible amount of drama in the workplace. The idea is that since we've already spent a great deal of time and money on something and it's not working, we can't quit. We spent too much time and money on it. There's a corollary that goes with this fallacy, that the value of something is directly related to how much time and money we've spent on it. That's a fallacy. An example is these miserable chairs cost $1,200 each, and so we have to keep using them until they finally wear out. Or I put a new transmission in my 2004 Range Rover for $8,000. So now that 2004 high mileage Range Rover is worth $28,000. No, it isn't. It's a sunk cost fallacy. Or we spend a year negotiating this collective bargaining agreement that we have. Because we spent a year negotiating it, we have to agree with it. That's a sunk cost fallacy. Couple more, the bandwagon fallacy. That's since so many people think something is right, it's got to be right. An example, employee engagement surveys that reveal that 60% of employees have a dislike for a certain manager. So therefore, she must be awful. Here's another one. The hypocritical appeal fallacy. I know you don't talk this way, but it's good to know what it's actually called. This is responding to a claim with a strong personalized reaction that has nothing to do whatever with the claim. An example, you're not very good at welding, and someone responds back by saying, well, you're not good at welding, even though it's not my job to be good at welding. There's a corollary to that. You could never do my job, so your criticism of my work product is irrelevant. Drama, drama, drama. All right, recognizing and unpacking these fallacies and pointing them out will serve like a needle that lets the air out of the balloon of drama. So remember, drama of this destructive type is a dangerous distraction at work. Like all good dramas that pull us in and engage us, and for it to flourish, all good drama needs 5 things. It needs a compelling conflict. Listen carefully to these. That conflict increases in intensity over the storyline. 2, it needs a villain. 3, it needs a hero. 4, it needs good actors who can play the part convincingly. And 5, it needs an audience that suspends critical thinking. You stayed with me this long, so here's the key. Remove any one of those 5 and the drama will evaporate. Here's a pro tip. Removing the audience part is the easiest. You do that by teaching people these 5 simple disciplines. 1, always ask if you suspect something is drama, how do you know that? 2, go to the source to get your information. 3, break triangulation every single time. 4, call it what it is. Hey, this is drama. And 5, raise your expectations to achieve results. Those 5 disciplines act like sharp needles that pop the balloon of drama. You've got important work. It's too important to squander your time and energy on drama. You've got this. Here's to you.